Hi, my name is Rabbi Dunner. Welcome to my Erev Shabbos Dvar Torah this week for Parshat Beshalach. At the beginning of Parshat Beshalach, after the Jewish people leave Egypt, they arrive at the shore of the Red Sea and they camp there. And the Pasuk says, "Vayugad lemelech Mitzrayim ki barach ha'am, vayahafich levav Parai va'avodov el ha'am." Parai heard that the people had escaped, and his heart and the heart of his servants changed towards the nation. They said, "What did we do? How did we free the nation of Israel from serving us?" Do you remember that pasuk? It's a bit crazy, right? Totally bizarre. I mean, have they lost their minds? Everyone knew that Pharaoh didn't just free the nation. Egypt had already endured 9 devastating plagues. And then the worst one of all, every firstborn Egyptian kid dies. The whole of Egypt, including Pharaoh, had to admit, game, set, and match to God. They'd lost, he'd won. There was no choice but to let the Jews go. So what was he saying? We sent them out. We freed them. Are you kidding me? You had no say in the matter. Like, you think you were in control? You weren't. Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky in his Parshat Emes Yaakov offers a stunning insight into human nature. From this pasuk we can see something that we know only too well from our family, from our friends, from our acquaintances. The only trouble is that we don't always see it when it comes to ourselves. There are 2 aspects of the human condition that are constantly at odds with each other. One is emotion, and the other is reason, intellect. I wrote a book, you may have it. It's called Hearts and Minds. In it I offer ideas about the parashas in the Torah that appeal to both the emotion and the intellect, because it's complicated. Sometimes something is rational, but your heart's not in it. Other times, you're really into something, but there's a voice in your brain telling you that's not the way to go. But the worst is when you only act with your heart and not your mind. It's a disaster. Whenever there is a conflict between your emotions and your rational side, the emotions will always win. The rational part of you will be in total denial about things that were so clear just yesterday or even a few minutes ago. You can rationalize anything. If your emotions can find even the smallest excuse to understand something in a way that will coincide with what you want, what you desire in your heart, they will twist and corrupt even the most obvious facts so that you can do what your emotions want you to do. Emotions and passions are capable of overcoming the intellect. Think about Parai. He had a good thing going, right? He had free labor from 600,000 Jews. It was an economic windfall for Egypt. Emotionally, they, the Egyptians, all wanted to re-enslave the Jewish people. But, hold on a second, just a week ago, God was devastating your country. But Pharaoh wasn't being rational. He was a captive of his emotions. He found the craziest excuse, made no sense at all. He said, God was victorious over all our other gods, but now that I see that the Jews are encamped in front of Baal Tzfoin, obviously God has met his match. Baal Tzfoin is stronger than him. You just want to grab Pharaoh by the shoulders, shake him, wake up, you fool. You're heading in the wrong direction here. Haven't you had enough pain? Any rational person would not have said what Pharaoh said, but Pharaoh was so desperate to re-enslave the Jews that he went for this far-fetched theory, which ultimately resulted in his doom. Even when he got to the Red Sea and saw that it miraculously split, and the Jewish people were walking through the middle, on the bed of the sea, he didn't say, okay, this is God, I'm going home. That would have been the logical thing to do, right? But no. Do you know what he said? He came up with this far-fetched theory, a conspiracy theory. There's a strong easterly wind, and that's what is responsible for the water's separation, not Hashem. His emotions told him it must be the easterly wind, and he went along with it. If he would have been rational, he would have said it must be the hand of God and gone home. But if a person wants something, his emotions will distort what is obvious to everyone else just to satisfy their own desire and passion. What an important lesson we can learn from this story. Whenever we are in a situation where we know that our emotions are in conflict with our logic, we have to be so careful. We must be on guard. We have to ask for advice from neutral, third parties, because we cannot judge the situation objectively. Wishing you Shabbat Shalom and a wonderful week ahead. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos.